My next speaker is someone who I'm sure you all know. He is an icon in the industry, and I have to tell you, I could list all his awards and things that I've written down here about him, but the most important thing to me is when I was first starting, he was the first mentor that I had. He was the first person I looked up to and admired in the industry, Mr. Eddie Tapp. Welcome to the stage.
Hello and welcome to the Mental Health Hotline. If you are obsessive compulsive, press 1 repeatedly. If you are codependent, ask someone to press 2 for you. If you have multiple personalities, press 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you are paranoid, we know what you are and what you want. Stay on the line and we'll trace your call. If you're delusional, press 7 and your call will be transferred to the mothership. If you are schizophrenic, listen carefully and a small voice will tell you which number to press. If you're depressive, it doesn't matter which number you press, no one will answer you. If you're dyslexic, press 696969.
Kevin said let your hair down, so I did. So if you don't have a drone, you know somebody that does. And if you don't, you will soon, because drone is becoming a big part of the industry today. And commercial imaging for the photographer is going to become so much better this summer because of licensing. But creating photographs from drone is a new level. It's a new height. And it's fun to do. It's exciting to do. This graph simply shows commercial drone operations around the world, what's been approved. What's coming to America this summer is a few things. We'll go over that just a little bit. This image reminds me of what we can do. We can create amazing photographs and get at different angles that we've never been able to before to create our photographs. It's fun to do. It's exciting, and there's a brand new market coming up. Every day there's lots of information about drones. Some are bad, some are good, but there's a lot of good information going. Look at this. Disney seeks FAA permission to fly drones on their own property, who they asked the FAA to create a no-fly zone for. But this is the proposed FAA rulemaking that will be passed this summer finally. And it's got important information. It's all about safety. Less than 55 pounds, visual line of sight. What we will have to do is pass an aeronautical test. And that aeronautical test will have to be passed every 2 years to maintain a license, a commercial license, so we can make money doing this. Currently, to have a license, you have to be a licensed pilot and pass something called a 333 exemption. So about $25,000 later, you too can become a commercial pilot license. This summer, that's going to be down to about $150. But what you do need to do today, even if you have a drone, is register it with the FAA and get a tag number, or a tail number as they call it. This happens to be my tail number. It goes on all of my drones. It's registered with the FAA. And every time you fly, there's a record of exactly the GPS where you flew, how high you flew, the exact path that you flew, and how long you flew. You can click on the picture and it shows you a map of where you actually flew that. This is accessible. The FAA has access to that information. If you were to fly into a no-fly zone and there was a problem, then, or you could prove that where you were, or they could prove that where you were. This is something you can download from the FAA website. It's actually a link from there, but it just shows the simple rules that you can fly today without a license. There's something called geofencing, which is not new. Geofencing is on all of our iDevices. So anywhere you go in the world, there's advertising. That's what geofencing is about. But when it comes to droning, geofencing has to do with where you can fly and where you can't fly. This is Disney World, and that red circle is an area where you just simply can't fly a zone, or your drone. It's completely around airports and that sort of thing. Safety is the big thing, going over the different challenges that we have when we're flying drones. The big one in this particular list to me is having a spotter. If you have two controllers where you can control the camera, somebody else can fly, that's one thing, but having a spotter is important. This image reminds me of when the DeKalb County Police Department called me and said, "Mr. Tapp, would you like to come pick up your drone?" That's a different story. I'll have to tell you about that later. But, you know, we have the control. We have the ability to create HDRs and panoramas and control just like we do on our camera. So to get up in the air and have a new angle to shoot our images from is easy to do. It truly is easy to do. What's difficult about flying a drone is turning it around where left becomes right and right becomes left. But when it comes to finding that new angle and an exciting angle that's easy and safe to do, I've been flying out of helicopters for years, but look, this news just in. If you have a drone that's under 4.4 pounds, such as the DJI here, you do not have to currently pass a 333 examination. That may not mean anything to you, but it's a big deal. And listen, I am a dronographer and a photographer, and I love to do dronography. So thank you for having me here, Kevin.
Thank you, Ted.
Fantastic. Isn't that exciting? I just got, I'm talking to two mics at once. I just got a drone not too long ago myself, and I agree with Eddie and everything. It's amazing, it's fun, opens up totally new doors. It's something that we should all be, thinking about maybe. If you ever wanted to get high and just didn't really find a way to do it legally.